Good afternoon. Wow. Yeah. My head's been so deep into a server for the last 2 days, it's unreal. Um, because I'm on a mission. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be able to run a server, a web server, right here from our place. I've got a server literally setting like right behind me. Oh, I just turned the speakers. Anyway, I've got a server setting right behind me down here, and it's actually it's an old Power Edge T110. It's a pretty old server, a well, it's a you could use it as data server, web server, whatever, and it's actually pretty cool. And so what I've been doing is I've been working, trying to get a working operating system on it, and like I'm working with CentOS 7, and and I'm using a different console than I did before when we rented that dedicated server. So I'm kind of trying to figure out the new console, and just trying. That's been a while back, and I've only been that deep setting up a server one time, and that was the only time when I did it like 2.5 years ago. And so I done forgot what I did then. So anyway, I'm on my way to getting it. Man, I can't tell you how many times I've reinstalled CentOS in this, because when I get it right, I'm going to write down everything that I did, like all my settings and stuff. I'm going to write all that down, and then I'll wipe it and redo it. And I'll do it with all the correct settings right the first time, straight right to it, and it'll be good to go. So I think I did have it right. Um, for a little while, maybe. I didn't realize that for whatever reason, since I'm actually on the network in which it's being hosted. Like, okay, what I did is if you go to transformingdisabilities.com, that's one of our websites, and that is actually pointed to the server right behind me. Now you'll get a CentOS page, and my only issue is transformingdisabilities.com is pointing to the right IP. It's just not propagating to the right folder, because there should be a Joomla installation there, but there's not, because something's not quite right. But anyway, when I get it right, everything's good. Figure out what I'm doing wrong, which, believe me, that's light years ahead of where I was before. And and you know, I got to figure out what I'm going to do, because if I got it set up to host multiple different servers, which is the intent, because we've got 3 websites currently, then yeah, I'm going to have to fight with it. So anyway, here's the thing. Um, my buddy that gave me the server, he's the one that owns the computer shop here. He told me about the local internet, and it would almost be feasible. When I say local internet, I'm talking about the company that the city runs for internet. Um, I didn't realize what package they were actually offering. They're offering a synchronous package, meaning if it's 60 meg down service you're also getting 60 meg up. If I had a 60 meg synchronous internet connection, I could I could blast out probably 4 or 5 1080p HD streams to different, like 4 or 5 different platforms, and be able to host 3 websites from a computer behind me without a problem, and nothing would get stepped on. Nothing would. I mean, that's how much of a difference we're talking. So anyway, it would save us server cost. It would allow me to run a dedicated server again, which I love that idea. Uh, Not only 2 different reasons. It would be dedicated server, but it would also be one ran from right here, which makes my life a lot easier. I can put anything in it I want to put in it. I can, you know what I mean? So if there's some type of script I need something special for, I can do it. The way it is, when you rent a dedicated server, there are some areas of that server that you cannot get into, to where this will let me into it. So anyway, that's what probably the future holds. Will be a lot more capability. Now here's the thing: if I were to get like a hard drive, a decent sized hard drive, like a 2 or 3 terabyte or something like that hard drive, when it comes to the show archives, literally after the show, all I have to do is grab that file, download that file once it's done processing at YouTube, download it, throw it on the server computer, and just that quick, it'll be up on the website to be able to watch. And there won't be no clicking on a video and it taking forever for the video to load or anything like that, because you're not going to be in a shared server, and most of the bandwidth is going to be going right to that, playing that video, unless I happen to be doing a live show at the time, which it'll still be fast. It might just be slowed down just a little bit. But anyway, that's what the future's looking like for us, I believe, because that would be that would save a lot of headaches, and it would save a lot of, not a lot of money, but I mean it would save money. We don't pay a lot for a web host, so anyway, let me get this pulled up here. Sorry. Okay, let me show you what we're doing Steam-wise real quick. Today I've got a couple of little amounts that are going to come up for the taking. One of them will be in less than an hour, 36 minutes. The other one will be in 4 hours. So what happens when that comes up, I can click on the wallet over here, and there'll be an option up here for me to be able to take it, to claim it. And then it puts it in the perspective places. So anyway, this is what's up. Right now we've got 8.779 Steam dollars sitting in there. And like I said, there'll be a little added to it here in a little while. That should give me, with what I've got in the Verox wallet already, that should put me just $2 or $3 shy, I'm thinking, of that solar panel. So I'm going to go ahead and actually get it ordered, so it's ordered and done. And then coming up probably about the 22nd or the 23rd, I'll be able to order the buckets and stuff to get all the rest of the stuff we need for the countertop water filter. So we don't really need much more. We pretty much got everything on the way we need. We just essentially need buckets now, and that's all I'm waiting on. So now Evil was here over the weekend and had given me a bunch of activated carbon. So now all I got to do is grab some sand and some small rock, and I can do the video for the emergency water filter. So I figured that will be a handy little bit to have. So anyway, grab a drink of coffee. YouTube, 3075. So we're slowly backsliding again. Go figure, right? AdSense, of course, over here we're still setting at 151.73. That's what I'm saying. We'll be getting about 22nd or 23rd, and most of that's going to, well, half of it's going back to pay for the bike trailer. So let's see. Oh, $1.16. Yeah, I think my neighbor clicked on 2 or 3 ads earlier today. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the neighbor did, from a phone that was never used ever to connect to Google AdSense. Yeah, I'm sure it did. My neighbor. Anyway, I get it. So let me go ahead and get Twitter out of the way. All right, explosion at Indonesian police headquarters in Surabaya. Tehran looks at Russia, China to save nuke deal as U.S. quits agreement. Hezbollah attacks on IDF and posts affirmed balance of deterrence, says reports. Houthis fire missile at Aramco, something like that, distribution center in Saudi Arabia. Explosion hits Afghan capital of Kabul. No details on possible target. U.S. opens embassy in Jerusalem amid violent protest on Gaza border. That was insane, folks. I'll be talking about that a little bit here in a moment. UK Foreign Secretary, London tries to protect businesses in Iran from U.S. sanctions. A terrible massacre. Israel kills 41 Gaza protesters ahead of U.S. embassy opening. They killed 41 protesters. I mean, these people are the chosen ones, right? In fact, they're so chosen they can just commit genocide and everybody will support them. Well, they're chosen. They said so themselves, right? That must mean it's true. Wow. About as real as a rapture. Trump calls Jerusalem factual Israel capital. Netanyahu says, we'll stay here. Israeli Air Force hits Hamas facility in Gaza amid ongoing protests. Lavrov says U.S. plan to Arab troops deployment in Syria. Sovereignty violation. Hezbollah says last week missile attack response to Israeli aggression in Syria. Palestinian president refuses from U.S. peace mediation amid Israeli massacres. And Turkey recalls ambassadors from the U.S. and Israel after over 50 Palestinians killed in Gaza. Let me read you this article. Ankara has recalled its ambassadors from both Washington and Tel Aviv for consultations, the Turkish government has confirmed. The Turkish government also declared 3 days of mourning on Monday for over 50 Palestinians killed on the Israel-Gaza border. Israeli security forces opened fire on demonstrators gathering along the border fence to protest the relocation of the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Turkey will react to this harshly, said President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Ankara condemned the massacre of Palestinians carried out by Israeli security forces, adding that regional and global peace and stability will not exist until a lasting, just solution to the Palestinian question is reached. We strongly condemn the decision of the U.S. administration to move its embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, violating international law and all relevant UN resolutions. We reiterate that this action is legally null and void, the Turkish Foreign Ministry said on Monday. Turkey has also called for an emergency meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation on Friday over the killings in Gaza. Deputy Prime Minister Bekir Bozdagh told the Anadolu agency. Sure, I got those way wrong. Hundreds of protesters gathered in Istanbul on Monday, chanting slogans condemning Israel. Earlier in the day, South Africa recalled its ambassador to Israel after news of the Gaza killings. A number of other governments have condemned Israeli actions in Gaza and the U.S. decision to relocate its embassy to Jerusalem. France again calls on the Israeli authorities to exercise discernment and restraint in the use of force that must be strictly proportionate, said Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian, adding that the U.S. decision violated international law. The UK remains firmly committed to a two-state solution with Jerusalem as a shared capital, said a spokesman for PM Theresa May. We urge calm and restraint to avoid actions destructive to peace efforts. Moscow has condemned the decision by U.S. President Donald Trump to move the embassy to Jerusalem. International resolutions declare that the status of Jerusalem, one of the most important issues of the entire peace process, must be resolved in direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine, said Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. So here's the thing, right? I know there's a lot of people that are probably feeling a little more relaxed, right? Because the world hasn't blown up yet. We've been through a lot of tense moments in these past 2-3 months. Pretty tense moments. Some of them could have definitely went hot, quick. They didn't. But I wouldn't relax. Because what do many of these different events that I just spoke of have in common? Most of them break international laws, violate international treaties, and go way, way beyond the bounds of what we're supposed to be doing, both here nationally and in foreign relations. It's insane what this country is doing, and been walking away doing it, no problem. Now see, that's why I don't trust the UN. Okay? Because the UN should have stopped the US a long time ago if they truly did what they claim they do. They would have stopped the United States one way or another. There would have been another world war to stop the United States. That's what the UN would have called for. Okay? Because we're not sitting over here on our parcel of land, on our continent, minding our own business. We're everywhere. We got military bases everywhere. We're up everybody's butts. You either listen to us or we're going to come over there and we're going to give you freedom. Right? We're going to go spread freedom, right? I mean, I know those look like big damn bombs falling out of that plane, but they're going to plant flowers, I promise. Right? And there'll be rainbows and glitter. It'll be pretty. Freedom. Because that's what we do when we go to these other countries that don't listen to us. It's freedom. Right? We got to spread that democracy. Funny, democracy smells an awful lot like horse shit. Because that's the truth of it. And the UN would have smacked us down using its international partners if it wasn't a lapdog for either the United States or whoever the United States may be a lapdog for, which is correct. You know, we've got a lot of craziness going on right here. A lot. But what is going on internationally? Pretty mind-blowing. Pretty mind-blowing. Don't relax yet. Don't relax yet. I'm not saying this to try to fearmonger or anything else, but man, there's been warnings about this embassy months back. Months back. You know, we have to question the whole building the temple thing and what it could possibly mean. It may not necessarily mean what we were traditionally taught it was going to mean. It is a parable, you know. The Bible is largely made of parables, I should have said. But that, I just, you know, I see a lot of people relaxing, and I don't see anything letting up. I see more and more tensions building. North Korea? Yeah, I still don't trust that. Goes and has a meeting with China, right? Has a meeting with South Korea, right? Let's see. All three of those countries lately have had a problem with the United States. Nah, nothing to see here. Carry on. Don't relax yet. With that, I'll close up the monologue with God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit.